Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalabhakati Sadma 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 Bandho Mui Savadhana Mate Bandho Mui Savadhana Mate Bandho Mui Savadhana Mate Bandho Mui Savadhana Mate Yahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Yahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Yahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Yara Prasade Vai He Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te 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 Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shite Te Koriya Aikya 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 Arna Kori Ho Mane Asha 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 Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati 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 Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha 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 Shakudan Dhiro Ye Janme Janme Prabhu Se ठाकुदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति होते अविद्या विनाश जते प्रेम भक्ति होते अविद्या विनाश जते Vede Gaya Charito Vede Gaya Charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Arama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deha More Pada Choya Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deha More Pada Choya Ebe Jashku Shukri Bhuvana Ebe Jashku Shukri Bhuvana Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deha More Pada Joya Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deha More Pada Joya Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatiresha Tarine Namaste Gauravani Pracharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Jagoshi Jiva Gopalako 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Namo, Namo, Tulasi Krishna Prayasi, Namo Namaha. Krishna Prayasi, Namo Namaha. Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Eya Bila Asi ea vilasi. Yeto mara sharanaloy tada vansha ponaoy. Kripa kori korotare Vrindavan Navasi Akari Korotare Vrindavan Vasi Kripa Kori Korotare Vrindavan Vasi. Morae Abilas Vilas Kunje Dio Vas Abilas Vilas Dio Vas Nayane Ribosara Yugala Rupa Rasi Ane Ribosara Yugala Rupa Rasi Nayane Ribosara Yugala Rupa Rasi. Nebe denadaro sakeranu katakoro nebe denadaro sakera katakoro seba adi karo die koro nija dasi adi koro die koro nija dasi seba adi koro die koro nija dasi. Ina Krishna dasekoi enamoroi. Ina Krishna dasekoi enamoroi. Shirara Govinda Preme Sarayana Vasi. Shirara Govinda Preme Sarayana Vasi. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namaha. Yani Kani Chapapani Pramadani Kani Cha Tani tani pranashanti. Pradikshina pade pade. Tani tani tapapani. Ramadani kani cha. Tani tani pranashanti. Pradikshina pade pade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya, Brinda Devi Jaya, Tulsi Maharani Jaya, Brinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Brinda Devi Jaya, Tulsi Maharani Jaya, Brinda Devi.
Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jai Mudire. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 41, text number 46. Bhavantu kila vishvasya jagata karanam param avatirnav iham sena shemaya cha bhavaya cha. Bhavantu kila vishvasya jagata karanam param Avatirnav ihamsena Shemaya cha bhavaya cha Bhavantu kila vishwasya Jagata karanam param Avatirnav ihamsena Shemaya cha bhavaya cha Bhavantu kila vishwasya Jagata karanam Jagata karanam param Avatirnav ihamsena Shemaya cha bhavaya cha Bhavantu kila vishwasya Jagata karanam param Vishwasya Jagata karanam param Bhavantu kila Bhavantu kila vishwasya Jagata karanam param Bhavantu you too kila indeed Vishwasya of the entire Jagataha universe Karanam the cause Param ultimate Avati now having descended Iha here Amshena with your plenary portions Shemaya for the benefit Cha and Bhavaya for the prosperity Cha also. Translation. You two lords are the ultimate cause of this entire universe. To bestow sustenance and prosperity upon this realm, you have descended with your plenary expansions. Please repeat. You two lords are the ultimate cause of this entire universe. To bestow sustenance and prosperity upon this realm, you have descended with your plenary expansion. So there's no BBT purport, but that's purport by Jiva Goswami. So we'll read that. Why are you praising us, the two sons of Nanda? That's in quotes. He answers with this verse. It is well known from scripture, Kila, that you two are the cause of the temporary universe, starting with Mahat Tattva and other elements. But more than being the cause as Purusha avatars, you are supreme as Swayam Bhagavan in Mathura. You have appeared along with your associates, the cowherds and the Yadavas. The singular Amshena is used to represent one class of beings, or you two are the cause of the universe by your expansion. O soul of all that be, the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe are all carried out by a fraction of an expansion of an expansion of your expansion. Today I have come to take shelter of you, the Supreme Lord. That's from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:85-31. The repetition of the word cha indicates that, that fearlessness in this life and the next, Shemaya, and prosperity are the two principal purposes of their appearance. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। Hare Krishna. So before we discuss this work, I'd like to seek the blessings of Maharaj and all the assembled Vaishnavas. You're all my seniors, my teachers, so please kindly give me your blessings so we can discuss this verse here. So, starting from the washerman, then we have come to the weaver who actually made those cloth ornaments with gold and gems, and then now we have come to this garland maker, right? So we are seeing in as Krishna has entered this one after another, these three different personalities and their exchanges with Krishna. So one way, like if you see this entire, sequence of, Krishna meeting these personalities, one can just meditate on how the Lord is being dressed. Like, just on the altar when Radha Golokana is dressed, there's first the clothes, right? After the bathing, there's offered fresh clothes, and then the ornaments, and then the garland. So it is just like one after another. You can just meditate how Krishna is getting ready, and then after that, he's going to kill Kamsa. So that's the next part of it. But it's so meditative that, how Krishna is getting ready, he's getting more and more dressed up. So that's a nice meditation. Now this, Maharaj actually mentioned this on Tuesday about this, that how this person, Sudama, he used to actually go to Vraj, right? And he used to actually, on the pretense of picking flowers, he used to actually offer Krishna some rare flowers in Vraj, right? So Krishna had already accepted Sudama as his friend. So that's why when he was here in Mathura, he actually, like, if you see the previous sequence of verse, he was actually already going to go to pick up that bow of Lord Shiva. But then he remembered, oh, my friend Sudama is here. Let me go and meet him, right? And then he comes to this the flower garland person's house. So there's a story that describes in Garga Samhita that this personality was actually a gardener named Hema Mali in the garden of Kuvera, right? So he was a gardener previously. And then he actually used to offer 300 lotus flowers to Lord Shiva every day, every day. And he did that for 5,000 years. That's what it's right. And then Lord Shiva, being pleased, he comes to this person and says, okay, what do you want? I'm pleased with your service. Ask for a benediction. And he prays, like his prayer is, please bless me like Krishna will personally enter into my house. And that's the blessing. And Shiva said, yes. And then the same person, Hema Mali, actually appears as Sudama in Dwapar Yuga. And now he's having the benediction that Krishna has personally come into his house, And when you think about this, like how much austerity is, like particularly in Shastra, different stories that they perform so many austerities, 5,000 years, 300 lotuses every day, and then finally Lord Shiva is pleased. And one can just think of our great fortune that Srila Prabhupada has created, that, compared to all these austerities, what we have to do, it's so much more simpler, right? We just chant our 16 rounds, follow 4 regulated principles, help Srila Prabhupada propagate this mission of Krishna consciousness. It's like, so simple. And Prabhupada, it's by Prabhupada's blessings that he's actually given us this entire process, making it so simple for us Kali creatures that by this we can actually, one way when you say Krishna is entering our house, Prabhupada has established like deity worship, and there's one place where Prabhupada said that every house should have Gaurnitai deities, like Krishna is coming into your house, like so Prabhupada has created that good fortune for all of us. And also like another point, just a side point before we go into the details of this verse is when we talk of this, whether there's a washerman or whether there's a weaver or there's a flower garland, Prabhupada has created an ISKCON society where everyone has an opportunity to serve. Whatever is your inclination to serve, you have a way to come and serve in the ISKCON center. You want to clean, you want to make garlands, you want to stitch clothes. We have devotees making outfits for Radha Golokananda, and every day there's flower garlands. So much opportunity to serve. So whatever we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada actually created a great fortune by engaging us in different kinds of services. So this was this Hema Mali who actually became Sudama. So that's the first point. Now coming to this verse, so if you see in the previous verse in 45, that's the first prayer which Maharaj so nicely discussed yesterday, that, "Oh Lord, my birth is now sanctified and my family free of contamination." So it's basically saying, just because Krishna has come into my house and he's glanced at all the things, my family, myself, my birth, everything has been purified. Right? So he starts off the prayer with that. And then in today's prayer, he's actually saying, "Bhavantu kila vishwasya." That he's saying, you too, referring to Krishna and Balaram, you too, kila, are indeed vishwasya. Vishwasya is of the entire Jagat, Karanam Param. Right? So when we read this Karanam Param, it's just like Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Right? Sarva Karana Karanam. So here it is similar. Jagat Karanam Param. Right? So Krishna, he's basically saying that you too, Krishna and Balaram, you are the cause of all causes. Right? Cause of this entire universe. And why is this like, imagine Supreme Personality of God has come into your house. Why, like, we can consider the mood of Sudama in glorifying Krishna as the cause of all causes, right? And if you actually see Jiva Goswami's purport, whether he's referring to the Mahat Tattva, and then he's talking of Purusha avatars, and then later on he talks about the expansion of expansion is the cause of creation. And when I was reading this purport, the section of our scriptures that came to my mind is Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the Adi Lila, Adi Lila second chapter, right? And in that, when Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is actually describing how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he actually explains how Krishna is the cause of all causes through, like, I just have subdivided like 5 different sections. And it's technical, but at the end of the Adi Lila second chapter, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami actually makes the point that Siddhanta Bhulya Jeev, that one should not be lazy about understanding this Siddhanta, right? So I'll just quickly go through that section, and then we'll come to the further part of this verse. So when we say the cause of all causes, and why is that so significant? Because in our natural thinking, everyone wants to know the cause behind anything that's happened. Behind any effect, immediately our mind goes, oh, who is responsible? Who has done this, right? We actually naturally think, who is the cause behind everything, right? And normally we stop at maybe like the immediate cause of an action, right? Okay, this happened, oh, this person is responsible, right? This person is responsible. Or if someone is a creator or has manufactured something, then immediately if there's a fault, we say, oh, who's created this? That person is responsible, right? So we naturally think of cause, and then we just stop at like, who is the immediate cause? But beyond going that, you say, okay, who is the cause of that? Who is the cause of that? And if you keep tracing back, cause, you may come to Brahmaji. Right? Well, Brahma is the cause of the entire creation. He actually created so many beings for progeny, and he's the one responsible. But beyond that, who is the cause of Brahmaji? Right? And then finally comes to Purusha avatars, and then finally comes to Balaram, and then finally we come to Krishna as the ultimate cause of all causes. Right? So I'll just discuss a little technical part, and then we'll come back to what does this actually mean to us when we understand Krishna as the cause of all causes. So, so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first section that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami talks about is, he says how Krishna is the source, is the cause of the Brahman and the Paramatma. Right? Actually, one of the 14 invocation prayers actually says that what the Upanishads describe as the effulgence of the Lord is just what the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is actually the effulgence of Lord Shri Krishna. And what we talk of Paramatma is just the localized aspect of that personality. And that personality is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So Krishna is the cause of Brahman, Paramatma. That's the first aspect he comes. Then second aspect he focuses is on how in the 10th canto, when Brahma is actually, after the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Brahma comes to offer prayers to Krishna, in 14:14, there's a verse where he actually says that, oh, aren't you the original Narayan? Right? So Brahma is actually telling Krishna, who's there as a cowherd boy, that you are the original Narayan. Right? You are the Mool Narayan, you are the source of everything. And in that, he actually proves how Krishna is the source. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami quotes this verse and then elaborates on this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in elaborating this verse, first of all, he says that how the Lord is the Paramatma in the heart of every living entity. Right? So when we say Narayan, Nara means the aggregate of all living beings. And Ayana means the cause or the shelter of all living beings. Right? So Brahma is saying, you are the original Narayan. So for all living entities, including Brahma and Shiva, you are actually the cause or the shelter of all living beings. And then further, he actually says how the Lord is actually the source of Purusha avatars. When we consider Karnadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and in Adi Lila in the 5th chapter, when it talks of Nityananda, glories of Lord Nityananda, in that it actually says that first it says, oh, Nityananda is the first expansion of Krishna. And then it talks of Amsha, Amsha, and Amsha. First Amsha being Karnadakshay Vishnu, second Amsha being Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the third Amsha being Shirodakshay Vishnu. So all these Purusha avatars who are in charge of this entire aspect of creation, that is just an Amsha or a part of the Supreme Personality of God. So who is the cause of everything? It comes back to Krishna. Right? And then the third point in this verse he actually explains is that Krishna is the witness of everyone. Right? And this is actually explained in Bhagavad Gita also, that how anything that we actually do, any action, it cannot be done without the sanction of the Lord. Right? And the point is actually made in 3rd chapter and 5th chapter and 18th chapter, how we are not the individual doers. We just desire to do a particular thing, but how does it actually happen? Well, Krishna in the heart as Paramatma, he senses our desires or smells our desire, just like someone may smell a lotus flower or a rose flower next to him. He smells our desire and he makes the 3 modes of material nature act upon us in such a way that we actually act in a particular way. So every action we actually do, it's actually who is the ultimate cause? Krishna. But then Gita clarifies, that does not mean that we blame Krishna in everything that's happened, right? Because there are some things because of our desire, Krishna is actually making things happen in such a way. But ultimate cause, the sanction of everyone, is actually Krishna. The next section that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami talks about, and this is all in Jeev Goswami, like he's kind of summarized, and that's why I'm going through this, is that it is different sections in the Adi, chapter 2. Yeah. So this is from text 67 onwards is the 3rd section where it refers to the verse Ete Chamsha Kala Pumsham Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, right? So the Amsha, so Jiva Goswami here is, even in this verse, actually it says Avatino Iha Amsena, right? So Iha, here you have appeared with all your Amshas, right? So that's why I'm selecting this section, because it's basically going into the details of this verse where he says Avatino Iha Amsena. So Krishna has appeared with all his amsha, right? So to that, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami quotes this verse: Ete Chamsha Kalapumsham Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, right? There's so many amshas, incarnations, plenary portions, portions of portions, but Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. Right? And then the fourth section, he actually talks about in Chaitanya Charitamrita, is he actually quotes the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra Sarga Visargasya Sthanam Poshanam Uthaya Manvantara Ishanukatha Nirodha Muktir Ashraya. Right? So these are the 9 topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But the 10th topic, Ashraya, is who? Krishna. And all the 9 topics are actually dependent on this one Ashraya. And hence the entire Srimad Bhagavatam is actually declaring that the cause of everything or the shelter of everything is that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. So that's the fourth. And the last section of that chapter is how Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that the energies of Krishna in terms of Chitta Shakti, right, the internal energy, Maya Shakti, external energy, Jiva Shakti, or the marginal potency, all of them are actually coming from Krishna. They are just energies of Krishna. So it is like so, like one way, like so comprehensive. Like you just read the second chapter of Adi Lila, and it's like, where is the doubt? The cause of everything is Krishna, no doubt about that. He is the ultimate cause of everything. So here he's actually saying, Bhavantu Kila. In the scriptures have actually established that you are Sarva Karana Karanam. You are Jagata Karanam Param. You are the ultimate cause of everything. Right? So when one is actually philosophically convinced, or at least from Shastras, we understand that how Krishna is the ultimate cause of everything, then what does that practically mean to us? Right? What does that practically mean to us? So when we actually accept Krishna as the cause of all causes, okay, maybe I can just pause and see, like, if we accept Krishna as the cause of all causes, what does that practically mean to us in our day-to-day life? Would anyone like to share any thoughts? Everything is Krishna's mercy. Yes, wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, wonderful. So both these points are related, that everything we accept is, yes, it's all Krishna's mercy. Right? In Bhagavatam, again and again we see this theme. Right? Even in the first canto of Bhagavatam, we see Maharaj Parikshit. And we read, like, towards the end of the first canto, how Maharaj Parikshit is such a glorious king. Krishna himself came into this womb to protect him. And then how he's so powerful that he actually subdued Kali. The age of Kali, he was able to subdue. So powerful. And finally, what happens? He gets cursed by a 5-year-old boy, and for a very insignificant reason. Just like where something very silly, Prabhupada used the word silly, that he just, circumstantially put this dead snake on Shamik Rishi, and then he was cursed for that. Right? But how did Maharaj Parikshit take this whole thing? Right? He went back to his palace and immediately he was repenting. Why did I do this? Why did I actually do this? And he actually said, because I did this, I'm supposed to worship, I'm supposed to honor, respect these Brahmanas. They are worshipful to me. But see what I have done. I have insulted the Brahmana. Right? And in that fire of repentance, he actually is already praying that, oh Krishna, let me get all the sinful reactions right now. Because if I do not get it right now, then I will tend to commit the same mistake again. And the section is so nice, the power of repentance, that he's actually saying, let me get it right now. Let me have those reactions right now. And he's in this way distressed and repenting. And as soon as he hears the news, by the disciple of Shamik Rishi comes and gives him the news that, oh, you have been cursed to die in 7 days. Prepare for your final 7 days. And then what is Parikshit Maharaj's reaction? He actually, he was in a distressed state and he becomes happy. He said, yes, I was wanting that reaction to come right now, and then it has come right now. And then this reaction has come in such a way that immediately I can renounce everything. It's a cause of blessing. So how can we actually, imagine like such a glorious king, his empire is all like he's following the laws of Krishna. He's actually doing what Krishna actually wants and establishing dharma in the age. But when faced with such a, imagine getting a death notice at only 7 days, only 7 days. And how does he actually take it? Oh, very nice. So unless we actually come to the point of accepting that finally Krishna is the cause of all causes. So this has happened to me. So that is Krishna's hand in this, right? Krishna wants to do something in my life. He wants to benefit me in a certain way. I may not understand how, but yes, he wants to benefit me in a way. So take that as Krishna's blessing. Like even in the Bhishma, in the first canto, 9th chapter, when Bhishma sees all the Pandavas and he says like, how is it possible? You Pandavas, you actually are always on the side of Dharma. Krishna is personally on your side. Yudhishthira is Dharmaraj. How is it possible that you have gone through all this suffering? All these suffering. How is it possible? Right? And then finally he says, well, it's all the time factor. But then he says like, well, time is under the influence of Krishna. So why is all this suffering come? And finally he comes to a point, well, it's all Krishna's plan. Na asya karichid rajan. And no one can understand Krishna's plan. So you just accept whatever is coming and say, yes, this is Krishna's plan. I may not understand, but just I accept the plan and see how I can use the situation again to enhance my devotion to Krishna. Enhance my devotion to Krishna. That's the way. So we actually accept, yes, Krishna is the ultimate cause of all. He's the hand behind everything that's happening to me. And then we read that how Krishna, like through all these, it's easy to see a blessing as Krishna's hand, but when we actually face difficult situations, then we know that Krishna is giving us a token of our karma just to teach us a lesson. Just to teach us a lesson. There's something, some anartha in our heart, and that Krishna wants that to be cleared so that we can quickly go back home, back to Godhead. And Krishna actually giving me this token so that I can deal with that. I can actually purify that anartha and come back to him. So, right? Even another story in the Bhagavatam is that of Chitraketu. Right? When we see Chitraketu also, as a Vidyadhar is traveling, and then he comes to his assembly and he sees Lord Shiva, right? And he is actually addressing assembly of great sages, but he has Parvati sitting on his lap, And then like one way, like Chitraketu actually says that, he knows Lord Shiva's glory is that he is not disturbed by Parvati sitting on his lap. But he says, Lord Shiva, you are considered a spiritual master of the whole world. And if you are following this behavior, what will people think about you? People may offend you. So for the benefit of all the people, I should say something. And then he said something, right? He said that, And then Lord Shiva was undisturbed. But Parvati, she said, like, how dare this Chitraketu, point a mistake in Lord Shiva? Has he become greater than Brahmaji? Even Brahmaji has not said anything. Has he become even greater than Brahma that he's pointing out this fault? Right? And then Parvati curses Chitraketu. Okay, next life, you'll be born as a demon. But then the interesting thing is when Chitraketu was cursed, how was his reaction? He was like totally undisturbed. He said, oh, Mother Parvati got disturbed because of what I said. I should go beg for forgiveness. And he came in front of Mother Parvati, asked for forgiveness. And he didn't say that, oh, please forgive the curse you have given me. I accept the curse. Thank you for giving me the curse. But because you were sad, I just want to come and beg forgiveness for you. So, and then after Chitraketu left, then Lord Shiva says, this is the position of a devotee of Krishna. Because he's so dependent on Krishna and he's accepting Krishna's hand in every situation, even though you cursed him, was there any difference for him? He just accepted that curse gladly. How can you do anything to disturb a devotee? He's at such an elevated platform that, what's that verse? Anyway, I'm skipping out my mind. Yes, Narayana Paras, thank you. Narayana Parasarve, na kutaschana vijate, swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha darshana. Right? Thank you, man. So that verse basically says, these are the devotees, Narayana Parasarve, right? They are always dependent on Narayan. They are always taking shelter of Narayan. Narayan Parasarve, na kutaschana vijate. They are not fearful of anything. You have cursed him, but is he fearful? Nothing. He has accepted that as a blessing, right? And then he actually says, Narak, Apavarga, right? If his liberation or the hellish planet or Swarga, wherever he is, a devotee is not disturbed because he is always accepting that Krishna is the cause of everything. So anything that's happening, that's Krishna's hand in that. You know? And so many examples in Bhagavatam making this point, right? So that is like when we accept, Krishna as the cause of all causes, then that is how we deal with every situation in our life. And then, and then the next part of this verse, he actually says, Avatino iham sena, right? So when that ultimate cause of all causes, who is the supreme cause of even Balaram, Lord Shiva, Brahma, everyone, that personality has come in front of you. Why would the ultimate cause of all causes come in front of us, insignificant jiva? So Sudama is saying, I'm so insignificant, but that personality has come right in front of me. And that is a glorification of Krishna's merciful nature. That though he is the ultimate cause of all causes, he's the source of everything, he actually descends. Avatino means actually descend, like how in that verse, Anarpita charim chirat karuna avatina kilo, same word, right? Anarpita charim chirat karuna avatino, because of the mercy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as avatino descended in this age of Kali Yuga. So when that ultimate cause of all causes has come right into the house of Sudama to accept his garland, that is the glorification of the merciful nature of Krishna, the sweetness. So the one side we have the opulence, and one side we have the sweetness, right? So both these aspects of Krishna are glorified by Sudama in this verse. And then he says, Shemaya cha bhavaya cha. So this phrase actually comes other places in Bhagavatam. I remember at least one place where in the first canto, when Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking to Arjun, he uses the same word, Shemaya cha bhavaya cha. That is Krishna's reason for this. And what is that reason? Shemaya here, word to word, says benefit, and bhavaya means prosperity. So one way Shemaya benefit, how does he benefit people when he actually comes, when he descends? Right? At least everyone who comes in contact with Krishna gets liberated. That is like the minimum benefit that Krishna gives. And then further, like you can get service to Krishna. Like previously we read about the washerman, right? He actually says you'll get a body similar to mine, and you'll get that kind of liberation. But at least the minimum, when Krishna comes, he actually gives liberation. That is Shemaya. Every living entity, like who saw him in the battlefield of Kurukshetra before dying, they got liberation. Everyone got Shemaya. And then Bhavaya, Bhavaya means prosperity. So also this, like it says, Shemaya cha, Bhavaya cha. So cha one way means and. So one way we can see it is to give benefit and create prosperity. But why is there one more cha then? And then that's what Jiva Goswami is explaining, that the second cha indicates that benefit life after life. So that is basically something beyond just this lifetime. That is basically liberation and something to do with spiritual benefit. Right? And then bhavaya, another point is also said here in this verse as prosperity. So certainly also material prosperity. How we read in the first canto when Maharaj Parikshit sees Kali hurting the legs of the bull and the cow. The cow is basically Mother Earth, right? And then at that point, there's a conversation where Mother Earth actually says, when Krishna was personally present, because of the presence of the footprints of Krishna on the earth, everything was prosperous. Everything was prosperous. And in that purport, Prabhupada makes this point. So if you want to bring prosperity in this world, only one thing we need to do. We need to invite Krishna onto the surface of the earth. Right? And he says it's not very difficult. Because all we need to do, if we actually engage in chanting and hearing about Krishna, then Krishna is personally here. That way, when Krishna is here, then naturally there is prosperity for everyone. Right? So that's this prayer by Sudama, Bhavantu Kila Vishwasya, Jagata Karana Karanam. You are the ultimate cause of all causes, and you have descended with all your amshas to actually give benefit and prosperity for everyone. Okay? So thank you so much. I'll stop here. Any comments, corrections? Yes, please. It is just like how Rupa Goswami gives that point in Nectar of Instruction, that we are all in a jaundiced state, right? The only solution is to actually keep eating the sugar again and again and again. And that is the cure for jaundice. So initially, though, sugar may be like, not so tasty, and then, we feel sleepy, and, we don't have that taste. But by regularly relishing that Krishna Katha again and again and again, eating the sugar again and again, like how that verse says that sugar is the treatment for jaundice, that same bitter sugar one day seems like so sweet, and we cannot stop relishing that nectar. Like how in third verse of the Bhagavatam, it says, Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam, sukha mukad amrita davya samvutam. In that verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, that's our life. Our life should be, we drink the nectar of the Bhagavatam, and then we are so amazed by that, we faint. And then when we again gain consciousness, we again drink the nectar, then we faint, and that's what we do. So the solution is just like keep hearing, keep hearing, keep hearing, keep hearing, and then we'll get the taste. That's just my humble point. Have it, yeah. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, we say again and again. Every day relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam actually, like, it makes a point, like, it says one needs to become a rasavit. Rasavit means one who actually relishes rasa, right? So you have to relish the nectar of Bhagavatam every day, again and again, and that way we can get a taste. So thank you all so much. So yes, Krishna Katha. Yes, thank you all so much for your association. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhasya.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvanda Maravindalayatam Bhavatatam Samasitam Purasundaram Kandar Patom Vidamaniyam Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Argani Asrasa Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Bhakti Gayanti Viratati Ananta Maya Sadu Dala Vikrasya Govinda Adi Purusha Namaha Bhajami 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 Govinda Adi Purusha Namaha Bhajami
Bhajami Govindam Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Gokula Tarune Mandala Makiche Go Kula Tarune Mandala Makiche Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Damodaro Rate Radhana Veshe Atinas Kuta Brenda Pipineshe Damodaro Rati Vardhana Veshe Arinas Kuta Brenda Vipineshe Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Te Rishabhanu Jaji Navashachi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Rishabhanu Jaji Navashachi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Karanam Karumaye Kurunaparite Sanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite. Karunam Kurumaye Kurunaparite Sanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Gokula Tarune Mandala Mahite. Gokula Tarune Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Yasri Radhe. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatacharya, also Tera Satashi Shimad, His Divine Grace. Abhaya Chandana Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath, Shai Mukunda, Radhakunda, Giri, Govardhan Kijai, Vrindavanam Kijai, Maturadam Kijai, Jagannath Swami Kijai, Yamudamai Kijai, Shimali Lasi Devi Kijai, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Kijai, Gaur Premalanda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga Shilabopad. So we'll read the translation first. O Radha, all glories unto you, beloved of Madhava, object of worship for all the young girls of Gokula. You dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you. You are the controller of Vrindavan, the pleasure groves of Lord Hari. You are a new moon arisen from the ocean of King Brishabhanu. You are the friend of Lalita, and your wonderful qualities, friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna, endear you to Vishaka. You are an ocean of compassion, and your divine characteristics are described by the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatan, Sananda, and Sanat Kumar, O Radha. Please be merciful to me. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai.
Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Praditaram Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Paramijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Nam Kari Mahuda Sarva Shaktis Tat Prapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etad Drishay. Vishuna Amani Namana Dena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Nazanam Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Oitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Vabam Buddha Kripayatava Pada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vichintaya Nayanam Galayusha Daraya Varanam Gadgada Hridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishiti Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahena Me Ashlisha Vapadam Ritam Rinastumam Adarshanam Marmata Karotuva Yata tata va vindato lampato mata suseva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because he spreads the rays of the benediction moon. He is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar which we are always. My Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower in the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, void of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more, flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord. Even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me, he is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally.